it's compulsory for a man or boy to stay 3 years, for a girl to stay 2 years. And I went to a training school, and then commander school, and then officers course. And after 3 years, I need to decide what I should do. And I decided to stay in the Israel Defense Forces. I was those days a paratrooper company commander. And when I reached the age of 21, I mentioned 21 because I know that you know what is age 21. Some of you as kids, this age. I entered to the 6-day war as a company paratrooper commander. I had 64 kids, same age like me. I remember that those days I have milk on my lip. I didn't know anything about war. I was so-called brave because I know that I need to protect my country. I need to protect my family. But I didn't know the whole concept, whole picture. And in those days, they took 2 paratrooper groups, company, and they put them in Eilat. Eilat, southern of Israel. It's like a triangle. One side is Jordan, one side is Egypt, and in between is Israel. The Jordanian and the Egyptian had a plan to cut Eilat from the Israeli map and to kill everybody in Eilat. They put my company towards the Egyptian, across a little bit the border. They put us in a hill made by stone. How you can make some place to put ourselves inside. And there's another group company in the other side in Jordan. And we stayed there 2 weeks under the sun. It was May, very hot, with a limit of water. 64 kids, same age like me, out of them like 55 rifles, 6 or 7 Uzis. It's a machine gun, small one, and 1 bazooka. It was anti-tank missiles that belonged to the troops in World War II, that once you shoot with a bazooka, then you start to pray. And whenever we used this bazooka, we stay in a small tent for 2 soldiers. And when it's cold and you need to make a pee, you're not going out of the tent because it's cold. So you do it via the bazooka. It was a pipe. This is the only incentive that we had from the bazooka. Now you can laugh, but those days you pray that it will work. And my commander was general. He came to me and said to me, Shalom, I would like you to know that from this point you will not go backwards. Because if they will cross by you, they will kill all the kids and the old people in Eilat. Like Masada. And you know the story. So I turned to him and I said, okay, can you give me some information about the enemy that I have in front of me? It's not like these days that everything by intelligence and you know. He said, yes. Shazli, that later on became in Yom Kippur War the chief of staff. He was a general with 400 tanks and self-propelled gun. And infantry is come towards you, 64 kids. I said, so how can I stop them? He said, you know what? I'll bring you 4 mines. I remember. Put them on a stick, wood, and when they will come, push the wood, and you will stop the tanks. You know, 400 tanks and wood and 4 mines, but an order is an order, and I thought that I will keep my job going. So we continue to stay there. He came 8 miles from me, 8 miles. I saw the dust of the tanks with the regular eyes. And whatever happened, that the forces penetrate up north in Gaza Strip, he heard about it, and he turned his forces, and he escaped back to Egypt. Guys, if you never heard about miracle, in Israel, every single step was miracle. We can't do the job by ourselves. God was with us. So they took us back to Eilat, and from Eilat by helicopters we go to Sharm el-Sheikh, and from Sharm el-Sheikh we go up north to Ras Sudar. And Ras Sudar is a city, more or less, with a big building, and we had a target to clean the building from the terrorists, from the army, from whatever they have there. So you need to divide your company by teams. And each team has a corridor. They need to run on the corridor to break the door and to shoot inside the room and to kill everybody that's in the room. And I remember that I ran with other 2 people, and I break the room at the door, and I was about to jump into the room. A gentleman, boy, Ochayon, from Kiryat Ata, north of Haifa, finished his job before I had, and then he jumped in front of me. As he jumped to the room, he got bullet in his forehead. He fell down in my hand. 2 words he said, Ima, Ima, mother, mother. And I know that as of today, you know that the mother is the glue of the company, of the family. And he died in my hand. I put him on the floor and I finished my job. Another day or 2, and then the war in Egypt was over, and I need to go back to Israel, so-called. And I have only one mission that I got after the war, that you need to go to the family house and to talk to the parents, because they should know what was the last things happened to a boy. And I remember that I was filthy, dirty. I went up north to the family apartment, and I stood by the doorstep. I start to shake. I don't know what to do. You know, in the midst of the war, you are brave. You don't care for nothing. You care only to do your mission. And I have 2 missions: to protect my land and to bring the people back home, the soldier. But once the war is over and I stood over there, I don't know what to do, because I cannot feel that I'm ready to front these people inside and to tell them why I am back and not the child. And I remember the order. I knock on the door. 2 Jewish believers, short like me, opened the door. Immediately they know me. They asked me to come. And guess what? They took me to the living room and asked if I would like to eat something. Believe me, I don't want to eat anything. I want to finish my job and to go. I mean, I was in a situation that I don't feel good. For 2 hours, we sit over there with the parents, and they questionnaire me every single moment. What was the last word that he said? What he said, how he's doing, everything, back and forth, for 2 hours. When the 2 hours was over and I left the apartment, I swear to myself, Shalom, this will be the last war. And remember, I was 21 years old. This will be my last war. I will fight for protect Jerusalem, protect my land, but I will not be involved in war like that. It didn't work this way. And from 6-Day War, I was 5 years in Suez Canal, in the fortress over there, and I was shell and bomb every day. And then I entered to Yom Kippur War, here in Golan Heights. And when Yom Kippur War was over, after a while, I was 2 years in Lebanon. And when the 2 years in Lebanon was over, I reached the age of 40. And due to the fact that I was in the combat zone all my life, I was allowed to retire. And I decided to retire because at the age of 40, you're pretty young. You can do else in your life. And I asked myself, Shalom, what you will do next? I said, I will bring Jewish people to this land. I said it because I have no clue about Christianity. I remember when I finished the officer's course when I was 18 and a half years old, the Pope came to Israel and he crossed from Megiddo Junction to Israel, Jenin, Megiddo Junction, he went to Jerusalem. And it was easy to take those that finished officer's course to do a parade for him. And I stood still and he crossed by me. Sorry, the Pope, but I didn't know what is this man's job. So due to the fact that I am Jewish and he is Christian, and for me he is Christian as others, I don't understand Baptist, Protestant, Mormons, Catholic. I don't understand. I have no clue. And of course I don't know about Jesus. Nothing. Jesus for me is like Paul, like Bill, like Shalom. Name. So I stepped backward and I decided when I left the army to bring Jewish people to the land. Jewish bar and bat mitzvah. And I start to work with the Jewish people. Going back to the army time, in the 6-Day War, the Israelis attack Egypt in 3 days, and then attack Jordan because Hussein started to fight against us, and we told him, stop it. But he got information from Nasser, from Egypt, that he is about in Tel Aviv. He's auto-to in Tel Aviv, while we are auto-to in Sinai Peninsula. So he decided to join the war. So we attacked Jordan and we took Sinai Peninsula and we took the West Bank. All that time, the settlers in Hula Valley, down below, called the government of Israel and said to them, government of Israel, it's about time to get rid of the Syrian. They are in the Golan Heights and they make our life miserable. The kids is from the time in the morning up to late at night, staying day and night in the shelter. No one is outside. And if there are 2 hours going outside, everything was just destroyed. They shoot every day. The government said no, because the government was afraid that to take Golan Heights, and you saw it today, those days, you can't do it with nothing but infantry. Because the doctrine, Soviet doctrine, that was in those days belonged to the enemy, is line after line. First line of fortress, and then mine, fortress, infantry, tanks, artillery, fortress, infantry. All the Golan Heights was packed with enemies. And they know that doing it with armor, you cannot move towards the Golan Heights. There was a time that a brigade of tanks start to move to Golan Heights, uphill, and out of 90 tanks, only one reached the target. The only one people that can do it is infantry. But infantry, try to think about infantry going on the empty space. They can be killed with a rifle, nothing. And the government of Israel was afraid, up to a point that they cannot take it anymore. And they decided to take Golan Heights. So we attack Golan Heights from 3 points. One is from Panias, second one is for Bet HaMeches, and the third one with paratrooper down south of Golan Heights. It was very hard and tough war. And we lost soldiers, and we entered to Golan Heights very slow. When we were on the 1/3 of the slope of Golan Heights, Assad, the father, called United Nations. Not the ruler Assad today, this is his son, but the first one. He called United Nations and said to the United Nations, guys, I would like to have ceasefire with the Israelis. They asked him why. He said, because the Israelis is in Quneitra. And in a minute I will tell you where is Quneitra. You can see, this is Quneitra, over there, with the bushes. While we were on the 1/3 of the slope of Golan Heights. So, guess what? All the infantry, all the soldiers on the fortress or everywhere, they throw the guns and they start to run through Damascus. So Damascus, capital of Syria, because they was afraid of siege. That the Israelis is in Quneitra, not at the front line only, and we don't want to be in between. So the last portion of Golan Heights, we just went with the buses up to these hills all over Golan Heights. How do you call it? Miracle. I'm telling you, honestly speaking, miracle after miracle. And I can stay and talk to you hours about miracles in Golan Heights. Some of them, Ron talked to the people in the bus about the miracle that 2 tanks that even cannot pull the cannon left and right, they were stuck here in Yom Kippur War, down below, and the Syrian came with about 2,000 tanks against 150 tanks, ours. And then there was a place that we had only 2 tanks, and the cannon is not working. So guess what? The commander, lieutenant, said to the other tank, he was on one, he said to the other tank, follow me. We are going down, and then we turn, and we open the light, and we're going up. And then we turn the light and we go down. And then light down, up and down. And the Syrians think that there's a division of tanks over there. So they move their forces to Emek HaBacha. Emek HaBacha, there was a group of 4 tanks with Kalani. He was Lieutenant Colonel. Out of the 4 tanks, 1 didn't move with the cannon, and 3 was about with no ammunition at all. And there is, against 4 tanks, like 600 tanks or 700 tanks against them. Some of them from 50 feet. And the soldiers and tanks ask him, Commander, what we should do? We cannot fight with no ammunition. What we can do? He said, do you think that the enemy knows about it? They said no. So stay on the line. you need to protect the line from them. They remain with one tank, because the other tanks was all the team that was in the tanks died. But they protect Israel for the north of Golan Heights. This is not a miracle. And there are many, many more. Many, many more. So what I would like to tell you, that Israel is protected, number one, by Jesus, by God. And this is the reason for me to appreciate each one of you for what you are doing. So I finished my time in the army. My last position was Deputy Chief of Logistics for the entire Israel Defense Forces. And then I asked what I'll do next, and I decided to bring Jewish people to the land. And that's what I did. The guide, that basically all of them are freelance, like Guy, like Ron, like others, come to me and said, Shalom, you are so good in logistics. You have so love to these people. Start with a Christian. I said, no. They repeat to ask me, I said, no. Years. They asked me to do it. And I said, no, because I have no clue about Jesus, about whatever you believe. Up to, I remember one night I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning. I think I got a dream. I know it was a call. I share myself. It was morning time, ready to talk with the Jewish people. And then one guide called me, a good friend of mine, and said, Shalom, maybe you will start with a Christian. I said, I'm ready. It was 19 years ago. And from this morning, he talked to me about pastor that was in Calvary Chapel Bible Fellowship in Temecula, California. I have a gap of 9-10 hours between Israel and California. So in these 10 hours, I look and study everywhere I can. Google, name it. I try to learn about Christianity. I try to learn about Calvary Chapel. I try to learn about him and his wife and his kid. Everything I can try to learn, because I know that I learned in a school, army, Israel Defense Forces, that in order to gain the war, so-called war, you need to have intelligence. So I learn as much as I can in the afternoon, like 4 or 5 o'clock, I give a call. I said, Pastor Clark, and yesterday he was in Israel and he left. Pastor Clark, I would like to talk to you. I said, what? And in 15 minutes, not more than that, I talked to him like, I didn't breathe. I didn't want him to say to me, Shalom, go to others, work with some other groups, small churches, and in a year or two, when you'll be ready, come to me. By the end of the conversation, he said to me, Shalom, let's talk again later. And later, we called each other and we talked. And he said to me, I'm willing to come with you. I was so happy, believe me. And I said to him, Pastor Clark, one condition. I said, what? Like I am in a situation that I can put a condition. I said, I would like to be with you from A up to Z and to drink from the water. Guys, I should admit, I should tell you, I fall in love. I fall in love on you guys, on Jesus, on whatever you believe, and what he's doing to you and what you are doing to him. I came to my wife, I said, Irit, you know her? All my life I protect you, protect my land. I work with the Jewish people. let me do now what my heart are telling me to do. She said, what do you mean by that? I said, I would like to go to the States, to form a travel agency, because you need to have a travel agency, and to bring people to this land. She said, and what is meant by you? I said, I'll go by myself. And out of 19 years, 17 years, I was by myself in the States. 70% of my time on a yearly basis, I was by myself in New Jersey. And 30% I was here with a group. Coral Travel and Tours is a ministry. And I love the people. I love to service you. I'm a servant. I love to bring you to Israel, because Israel, maybe you don't know, belongs to you as it belongs to me. The difference between you and me is that I protect this land with a rifle, but you protect this land with a spirit. And we cannot do it by ourselves. We need you very badly. I don't want to be a giant travel agency. I would like to be a boutique. I would like to bring you to this land, to spend some time with you, to go to your church, to spend some time with you, and to love you, because you deserve it. So this is the reason for me to stand today in front of you and to tell you guys, we love you here. We care for you. We really appreciate you take a decision to come. I know it was not easy decision, because friend, family, neighbors told you, are you crazy? This is a war zone. But you decide, it costs you decide to spend money, you decide to take from your vacation and to come. And it's a great decision, because you are staying now in your land. And you should be a witness, because Jesus will not go back to Baltimore, and not to Florida, and not to California. He will return in Mount of Olive. And you should be a witness. So thank you very much for coming. I would like to keep a friendship with you. And I promise you, Pastor Bill, that we love you and we'll come to the church as many times as you want. And I would like very much to see each one of you. And one time, remember, it's not enough. Not because I want you to spend money. One time is not enough because you don't know what to do first. To take pictures, to look on the site, to look into the Bible, to listen to the pastor, to listen to the guide. What you should do first. This is the reason to come again and again and again. And this is your land. Thank you very much for coming. And God bless each one of you.